Aiken with Tagawa Gardens here in Centennial, Colorado, and it is the last day of summer, first day officially of fall right about now, which means it is tomato harvest season. As you can see, lots of fine tomatoes out here. Hopefully, some of your tomatoes look a lot like this. A lot of my tomatoes look a lot like this, unfortunately. So to answer some of these questions about what's wrong with my tomato, I have brought in my pal Trish, who is one of Tagawa Gardens' garden advisors. She's really an expert, and she knows all kinds of things about tomatoes. So we're going to see if we can kind of pick her brain a little bit and figure out what it is that our guests are showing up with and what we have done wrong. Let's start with these concentric rings. This is a beautiful heirloom tomato, a Paul Robeson, out of my garden. What are we seeing here?
This is just, it comes from, we have hot, dry summers, and this year has especially been hot and dry. And all of a sudden you're watering and then we get a rain shower. So the tomato has access to too much water, it grows too quickly, and it cracks, skin cracks.
And is this any reason not to eat the tomato?
Oh no, still good. Just cut it out and eat it just like normal.
Go ahead. And some tomatoes are a little more prone to this than others?
Heirlooms tend to be more prone to this. So if you really don't like the look in your tomato, you can go with a hybrid variety, which they tend to be less prone to cracking.
This is this little radial cracking, different story?
Same thing, it just grows too fast. You see this one kind of has a little bit of both. The problem with these deep cracking this way is that mold can get in there, and you see hers has a little bit of mold, and when it gets like that you really don't want to eat it. But if they're doing it a little bit and you've picked it soon enough out of your garden, you can just cut those out and eat it just like normal.
How can we prevent some of this kind of cracking over the course of the summer?
Making sure you're consistently watering the same time every day, using mulch. Helps to keep the soil evenly moist.
Over the root zone?
Over the root zone. You don't want to put it right up against the stem, so leave a little space around the stem.
Another problem that we're seeing, which makes for some incredibly picturesque tomatoes, and Trish has found one that is just absolutely positively remarkable. Another heirloom tomato with the name we give this is what?
Casaluto.
Okay.
It's a fluted tomato, so this part is normal. But you can see where the blossom has stuck there when it was pollinated and caused cat facing.
What causes this?
So cat facing happens when it's too cold, when it's pollinated, and the blossom sticks there and cause these
deformations.
Deformities.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm seeing in my garden is this little guy called sun scald. This thing is as hard as a rock. What went wrong here?
He got his little sunburn. He was exposed.
He was exposed.
So the thing about this is you want to make sure that you're not overly pruning your tomatoes. Also, you want to cage them versus trellising them because there's less exposure for the tomatoes that way.
Another problem that we see a lot, and our guests I think have been bringing some of this in a little bit earlier in the season, is something called blossom end rot, where the bottom of the tomato, what would be this area here, gets a big piece of kind of parchment, leathery looking stuff. What's going on with blossom end rot?
So blossom end rot is where the tomato is not taking up enough calcium. And so the cells in there aren't sticking together correctly, and you get that leathery patch. So it happens when with the inconsistent moisture. So we're really dry, and then you water, and then maybe you don't water for a day or two, and then the plant gets under stress and can't take up the calcium through the soil. If you start to see it, you can stop it from progressing by adding calcium. You also mulch in your containers. A lot of people don't think to mulch their containers, but that helps keep the moisture even. So you found the aphids on your plants or whiteflies, and you decide that you want to use a chemical. Captain Jack's is a nice organic chemical to spray. It's not going to kill just the aphids, though. It will take care of other bugs. I like this because it has different settings. When I'm watering, I can use shower. If I'm trying to get rid of aphids, I use the stream. It's a nice, strong, steady stream, and it will take care of the aphids because they're so soft-bodied. For the aphids, you need to be using it every day because they repopulate so fast. So you're going out every day, whether it's early in the morning or late in the evening, and spraying off your tomato plant to try to get rid of those aphids. If that doesn't work, then you could do something like Captain Jack's or the veggie farm here that are made especially for vegetables and edibles.
So, we are going into winter. Spring will come, no matter how long the winter is. And as I say, we'll have Trish back and we'll get you all kind of pumped up and prepped for how to prevent these problems next year. So come see us at Tagawa's. We are your garden store and so much more. If you like this video, feel free to share it with a friend, and come see us at TagawaGardens.com for more videos like this. You'll also find us on Facebook and Twitter.